Now, the International Association of Women Judges Conference is also underway. It's in Cape Town. President Cyril Ramaphosa was there today, where he highlighted the efforts government has made to tackle GBV. That was in his keynote address. The conference runs until Saturday, and Vaylen Kirtley is tracking that story for us. Vaylen, good afternoon to you once again. A big focus today on gender-based violence in South Africa. What are some of the other key issues we'll be hearing about over the course of the next few days?
Michelle, thank you very much. It was very interesting to hear Junior actually speaking to the SAPS and their drive to incorporate more technology in fighting crime in the country, because in fact cyber violence, AI and technology is going to be one of the key issues that they're going to be discussing here at the 17th IAWJ conference taking place in Cape Town. So it's certainly very interesting, but there is that marriage between what the police do and what the jurisprudence in South Africa is able to do. To expand on this a little bit more, I've got with me High Court Judge from Pretoria. She's here to take part in the event. It's Judge Mashudu Manjalele. Thank you so much for chatting to Newzroom Afrika this afternoon. I mentioned that, you know, it's a marriage that there's this dance always between prosecution and the kinds of cases that they're able to bring due to the work that the SAPS is doing, and then obviously what is being done in the court. Where do we find the balance in order to tackle gender-based violence? We had a spectacular fallout with the Omotoso case where the case just wasn't strong enough, and the judge just had to say that when we all believed that it certainly was.
Yes, that is true. It's supposed to be a joint effort in order to curb the scourge of gender-based violence. So if we are to look at the case of Omotoso, there is a lot that the judges has said about the witnesses, that the witnesses were not correlating, the statements were not properly, not really taken, but they were, what they have said previously on the statements and what they were saying in court were totally different things, which simply means that there is supposed to be a way how we should sit and check these things out if we intend to really deal with gender-based violence properly. The police has to properly take their statements. The prosecution, as the head of investigations, should actually properly read their docket in and out. They must know what they want the witness to say and to achieve with the case. And then if they present that kind of evidence jointly from the beginning until the end, then the judiciary, while seated there, it will not have a hard time in dealing with the matter because it will be clear. But if all these stakeholders are not coming to the plate or are not coming and taking their part, it will be very difficult to deal with gender-based violence because this is a sensitive issue. So, and you should remember that by the time a person decides that I am going to report this matter, he or she has taken courage, a serious courage, to can expose herself or himself about what happened in the secret, which is only known by her or him with the perpetrator. So by that, it means whosoever is dealing with the matter must take it very serious that a person has opened up to allow herself to be vulnerable again.
Where is it that we are going wrong? When the president opened up this morning's conference with his keynote address, he mentioned all of the legal reforms that were undertaken from 2022, some key reforms that were made and some key reforms that they're hoping still to make to the legal framework by the gaps that were identified. But then if the legal framework is there, why are we continuing to see this massive rise in gender-based violence and this horrific statistic around what is happening to South Africa's children?
there's a lot that is going on that is contributing, like the president has said, which is contributing towards gender-based violence, socio-economic situations of South Africa. People don't have jobs. People are always angry. People are always thinking that if it's not the foreigner, it is the woman. If it's not the woman, it's the child. All those kind of things. So if issues like socio-economic things or socio-economic problems can be addressed properly, most of the other things will be eliminated. If police could be able to get proper training, which allows them to be able to take proper information that can assist the court and the prosecution to be able to bring a proper case before court, a lot of these issues could be alleviated.
What are the judges' roles in ensuring that we have a reduction in GBV? It's the theme of this year's conference. One would assume that there is. Yes, you guys do have a role to play in reducing that, and the president said that as judges, you are the ones that interpret the laws. So that's why he's happy to see more women involved, because that means that we have a transformed way of actually interpreting law too.
That is true. Judges have a serious role as well, but unfortunately, it doesn't start with the judges. The judges must be given enough information to can be able to say you are guilty of this offense. And when the person is now guilty of that offense, there are a vast statutes which allows for proper sentencing. That is what the president has been talking about. Proper sentences. That is where the court will deal with the perpetrators the way they are supposed to be dealt with, and if they fall under the minimum sentences, they must be given minimum sentences. That is where the courts deal with these matters, and they can proceed and deal with the matter in a way that will inform the perpetrators out there that it is no longer business as usual. We are now supposed to deal with this matter very seriously, but we should have a proper case in order to be able to sentence the person. But if there is none, and we keep on having cases that do not have material evidence, but judicial activism is important. And we have a lot of cases of judicial activisms that have happened in South Africa. We have a lot of them.
So you believe the judges are doing what they can?
Yeah, the judges are doing what they can. They are doing what they can.
There are a number of different themes that are going to be discussed. Obviously, gender-based violence, that is going to be the main one. But then you also have AI technology, which is going to be discussed, as well as human trafficking. These are just a couple of the themes that are going to be discussed. What are you most looking forward to, and what do you hope to actually come out of this conference that can really be tangible to the lives of the people that you are affecting in the cases that you preside?
What I really would like to see having been accomplished is to go out there having empowered every judge who is here to be able to deal with decisively with the cases that they have, and to be able to have programs that can assist in the what do we call it? In the conscientizing of the people out there, because there are still other people who are not reporting the matters, and that is the reason why they say, if it's a rape case, it doesn't matter how long have you sat at home still thinking whether to go and report or not. But the main issue is, if we go out here having achieved something like we should go out and do outreach programs. I would really love that, because then people will be able to be told how to give evidence. People will be able to know that if you do this, this is abuse. You must go and report. If you do this, these are the procedures that you can follow. If people become aware, because they are in a deep rural, I don't think that we have gone out enough to can be able to say everybody now knows. There are those that still needs our help, and we should give it.
And how do you tackle the lack of faith and the lack of trust that people have in reporting cases? It's something that has been brought up, but it's because of things like Kirtley and the fact that we've had no movement on the rape of a young child of 7 years old. We've had the Timothy Omotoso case being pushed out of court. So this doesn't instill confidence at all, and I can see how you're agreeing. I mean, you sit in a position as being a High Court judge, but you understand these matters like as concerned South African. So how do you then go about restoring that? Because it feels like it's so broken.
It is very difficult to really say what exactly is that which we should do as judges. But like I said, it is important that people should be conscientized that they should not lose hope. They should never lose hope. The moment we lose hope, we're dead. Because otherwise we are letting those that are perpetrators to roam free. So it's up to us to go out and still conscientize people that they should not lose hope. Justice is still there, and it needs to be seen to be done. That's what the president has said. Justice needs to be seen to be done. So I would encourage everybody who is experiencing this kind of violence, the kind of abuse, the kind of unfairness, to get out there and report the matter. If they do not get assistance, let them get senior people who could assist them in bringing their plight to either the police or either the prosecution so that they can get assistance. It is important.
Thank you very much. That is Judge Mashudu Manjalele. She's a High Court judge in Pretoria, chatting to us here from Cape Town. Enjoy the conference. We wish you all the best of luck. It's going until Saturday. And what a more appropriate month you couldn't find than Freedom Month, the month that we will celebrate Freedom Day, Michelle, for people to hear that message from Judge Manjalele that we need to be enlightening more people about the rights that they have and that need to be upheld, and hopefully through just reminding people that these issues will be discussed, and there'll be some type of education that will be happening in all the areas of South Africa, so people are able to bring their grievances to police in a certain way, and hopefully for a more just society to be born from that.